بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أسعد الله أوقاتكم. This is our program Spirit of Values, and this is Dr. Tariq Rashid. In the last episode we discussed the concept of the value of thinking, and we discussed one type of thinking, which was the mathematical, analytical, logical thinking, in which we just see how can we deal with problems. In this episode, we will go deeply in the value of thinking, but we will start with the creative type of thinking, a very important value to add creative thinking. But let's first differentiate between what we call pattern thinking and creative thinking. What's the difference? Pattern thinking is the way we are accustomed to and used to think when we face a problem or a subject matter. It depends on our experience in life. This is what we call pattern thinking. But in creativity, it's totally a different step or different approach. In creativity, we should think differently. And when they define creativity as thinking out of the box, what do they mean by the box? The box is the pattern mind, in which always give you ready solution based on our experience. However, in creativity, we have to think out of the box, which is outside the pattern type of thinking. In such a case, let's start with creativity and the value of creative thinking. Let's start thinking of the following terminology. What about creative, innovator, excellent, intelligent, genius, talented? What is the major and main differences between such terminology? Creative is someone who can bring ideas, new ideas, thinking differently. What about innovators? Innovators, people who use the concept of creativity to produce a new product, a new service. Sometimes creativity would not lead to innovations. In such a case, it's useless. Usually, when we apply the creativity and creative type of thinking, we have to end with a new products, new services. This is the innovators. What about excellent people? Excellency means you give the effort, the time to achieve. So once you deliver and have some time and effort to bring results to the stage, you are excellent in the effort. What about genius people? Genius people are people that they have a high level rank of some sort of intelligence. And about intelligence, we have different types of intelligences. We will discuss this later in another episode. What are the different types of intelligences that we used? And about talents, talent is what we are born with. All people are born with a certain type of talent. It's a gift from God. Now, if we want to relate all terminology together, we will have to think first, and usually we start with the talent, because once you define talent, by providing talented people with the creative tools, you can apply innovation, new products, or new services. Now, let's differentiate between creativity and innovation. Creativity is a process, needs some sort of time. However, innovation is the output of this process. So being creative without having any innovation is useless. So we put effort, this effort and time through new type of thinking, we will end with innovation and new issues. So as Thomas Edison said, and he is the innovator of the electric bulb, but he said, creativity is 99% effort and time and 1% only inspiration. So in order to gain the creativity, we have to work hard. Now, let's relate all issues together. As we mentioned, we start with the talent, because it's easy once we start with the talent, then we provide talented people with tools of creativity, then by hard working, time and effort, and providing excellency, they will reach a destination of new products or new services, and this is innovation. Now, the idea is to enhance the creativity, we have to run away from the pattern thinking, and there are several ideas and several tools we can use in order to promote creativity in our thinking. It's a very important value because once we promote creativity, we are actually applying change. By this, we are applying innovation. This will reach to higher achievement and reaching a higher rank value, which is success and happiness of the society. To have creativity, we have always to allow time, be patient, always also don't be pessimistic when you face some sort of failure. Thomas Edison, the innovator of the electric bulb, he tried 1,000 times until finally he reached a success with the electric bulb. And he wrote, I learned 999 times to invent the electric bulb. So give time, be patient, don't give up when you face failure. Now, what are the different approaches that we can apply in order to think differently in a creative method? The first is what we call running away from your pattern. It's a method that will help you to run away whenever you face problems or you want to think differently. For example, the first 1, 2, or 3 ideas, when you think in a subject matter or in a problem, remove this because these ideas are your pattern that are fixed in your mind due to your experience. But try to run away from your pattern by applying the 4th or the 5th idea that came to your mind. So running away from your pattern is one of the methods we apply for creative solutions. Now, a second approach for creativity is what we call what-if technique. What if? Now, if I have a certain problem, a certain subject to think of, always ask, what if, and put randomly, for example, what if I am so and so? What if I do so and so? Let's take an example. This is a metal hanger for clothes. You went to your closet and you found lots of them in your closet. How many ways you can think of using this differently rather than metal hanger? Try to think. Most people in 5 minutes, they cannot give more than 10 ideas for different uses of this metal hanger. But if we apply the what if tool, let's think. What if, and put all professions you can think of. What if I'm a teacher? What if I am a doctor? What if I am a dentist? What if I am a gardener? What if I am so and so? So when you put what if and you put jobs, you end with lots of tools and uses. Also, what if with locations? What if I am in the garden? What if I am in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in the living room? So when you put places with what if, you can derive more ideas for different uses of this. Also apply with objects. What if I use this with a football? What if I use it with a pen, with a table, with a chair? And so the what if technique is a methodology that will help you deliver lots of ideas and uses differently for the one technique or one issue. So what if is another tool for creativity. Let's discuss another approach or tool for creativity, randomness. Randomness is also one of the good technique that we use in order to create ideas. We have to take a certain random word, but this word should be measurable noun. For example, table, bulb, bowl, something that you can see and measure. And use this word randomly to create a certain new ideas for a subject matter or for a problem. Okay? So this random word could be using a book. I will open randomly one page and take the third line, the 4th word, and use it to create ideas. It's a very powerful technique using randomness to create new ideas. This was used by the traffic design departments. They, in a one session where they used to think differently and they want a new traffic system, the word they used was balcony. How could balcony serve me with new ideas for a traffic light system? And by this, they get what we call now the horizontal traffic light. You know, the balcony is always extended than the building, so it's outside extended. And they use this concept for what we call the horizontal traffic light system rather than the vertical. So balcony help us to create a new idea for the traffic design system. Another way is, for example, in insurance companies. Insurance companies use the word frog randomly. How frog could help insurance? By frog, you know that the frog, or it goes for further lots of steps. So they invented what we call the range. So this range will cover, for example, only normal illness. The other range will cover, for example, medical surgery. So the word frog helps in the insurance company. Also from frog, they created the insurance for going in the sea, in the desert, in the air. So a world help insurance company to create lots of ideas. This is what we call randomness. It's a method of creating new ideas randomly. Another approach we can use for creativity is what we call 6 thinking hats, suggested by de Bono. What is the idea of a hat? A hat represents some sort of a pattern thinking. When you change different hats, you are changing your pattern with the new patterns. So for example, we will start with what we call the white hat. The white hat is always looking for information that is related to a certain topic or problem. If we use the red hat has to do with the emotions, feelings related to a certain problem or certain subject matter we are looking to create new ideas. Then if we use the yellow hat represents being optimistic towards this problem. Then we follow, for example, with the black hat. The black hat, what are the risks associated with the idea? So as if it represents the pessimistic type of thinking. Then we use the green hat. The green hat is creativity, looking for new ideas to support the technique or the subject matter. And here we can apply the other approaches we discussed, for example, randomness, what if technique. We can combine this with the green hat. The blue hat is used actually to control the whole process. So assume that I want to apply the 6 thinking hats in solving a problem. For example, I have a problem in communication with a friend, with a colleague, with a manager, with an employee, or with a partner. If we use the white hat first, we are actually gathering information about the problem. Why do we have such ideas? Why do we have lack of communication or miscommunication? So the white hat. Then when we apply the red hat will give us the emotions. How do I really feel towards this problem? How my partner feel about the lack of communication? So the red hat is what we call the empathy hat, will help me concentrate on the feelings related to a certain problem. Now let's change and go for the yellow hat. The yellow hat is being optimistic. Well, I feel I can solve the problem of communication. I am sure I can reach a solution. So we think positively. Then we apply the black hat. The black hat, what are the risks that may actually threaten achieving progress in communication? Would this affect my dignity, for example? And we start thinking of the issues that may prevent this idea to go and proceed. And the blue hat is always used to control the process. And usually we use this technique, which is the 6 thinking hats, for organizations in brainstorming sessions. Whenever they, for example, this organization is trying to achieve some sort of a progress, development, solving problem in a brainstorming sessions where we have lots of people, usually 6 to 12 from different departments, solving a problem in the organization. We apply the technique of the 6 thinking hats in which we try to reach a final destination and solution either for development or for solving the problem. And the blue hat could be used for controlling the whole process. So we recommend to apply this methodology of 6 thinking hats in brainstorming sessions in an organization. So a brainstorming session, for example, we are conducting such a session for developing new strategies, for solving some sort strategic problems. So we gather people from different departments, usually from 6 to 12 members will act and conduct this brainstorming session. When we apply the 6 thinking hats in this approach, we help our organization through different types of thinking to get ideas about the problem using the white hat, What about the emotions, the feelings of the employees, of the stakeholders, of our clients? By the red hat, then the yellow hat, we start thinking positively in the development process or in solving the problem. Then the black hat, we are foresighting or forecasting the risks that may threaten the application of the new technique. And the green hat is applying tools of creativity. Of course, we can use the what if, the randomness, all if what techniques we just mentioned in this beginning of the episode. So use this approach to get new ideas. And in this episode, we started with the creativity value, and we summarized lots of approaches that we can start applying in our organizations, even in our personal lives, to solve problems differently, and this will add a value to our lives. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.